Hello, hello, hello. It's Partyfook back with another Mechabellum Commentary. This time we had a pretty good game, I think. We've been playing a few games recently against higher ELO opponents. We had actually a 1600 just recently, which I did lose to, of course. He went factory, and I was like, you can just go factory like that. Suck Melter doesn't really stop that. Unfortunately, it seems. At least that's what I learnt. I guess Improved War Factory is pretty good. Starting out here with Stormcaller, kind of medium range build with our Hounds in the front for chaff clear. We're going for a Supply Specialist. Off the back of that game, we were thinking to ourselves, why don't we go for an economy game and try to go for like early super units? Just like they did to me, and see if that works. Our opponent is a Cost Control Specialist and opts to put down more chaff, it seems. They've still got some money left over as a result. Let's see what they choose to do with the rest of it. Yeah, I figured some fangs in the middle here could maybe finish off some of these crawlers. We know that level 1 hounds, I don't believe, one-shot level 1 crawlers. Is that true? Wait, they do. They do? Just. Like, literally just. Okay, well, never mind then. Doing an okay job, at least, because that, you know, having range, they have a little bit more uptime. So, all right against dispersed enemy chaff. Stormcaller's getting a decent amount of uptime, though. The tanks are advancing into the missiles. And tanks don't have the greatest DPS at level 1, so they're going to very, very slowly start taking down these storms. And I think we're going to have enough here. At least it would seem that way. Looks like the pack on the left-hand side could go down. No, it looks like we're going to win round 1 with our Stormcallers. Pretty strong unit, 1v1. Round 1 when you have a kind of a defensive position and a slow enemy opponent. I love the idea of a level 3 Arclight. I did see that he could go Wraith. I went for the Arclight. Level 3... That's going to be able to actually fight down these sledgehammers, probably. It's definitely going to deal with all this chaff that he's put down. Round 2, he's going Wraith. So we do pick out 2 marksmen, level 1, as flankers, to try and, you know, have something against this. And he drops 2 units of Stormcallers of his own to counter the missiles from my side. We're a little bit faster, but our new units now are slower, so interesting choice out of him, but it does pay off, because I think these marksmen aren't going to be particularly good into Stormcallers. Hounds surviving okay. If they were a little bit faster, they could probably dodge a few more of these missiles. Losing our chaff clear on this side. The big Arclight is chewing away. The marksman's locked onto the Wraith, but he's onto him too quickly. Our marksman goes down, so does the other one, and we've definitely lost this round. We did anticipate the Wraith, the possibility of the Wraith, but we didn't have a strong enough position on those marksmen to fight it back. We do have a really nice volley there, taking out 3 of the 4 storms and nearly taking down the last one too. So we do lose round number 2. Haste module, Elise Phoenix. I was thinking, like, where's the card that I'm going to base this game on, eh? Intensive training? Yes, intensive training. If we're going for big units, intensive training makes a lot of sense. Potentially getting a really highly leveled unit of some kind. Our opponent does have the Nano Repair, which is also super nice. He goes for missile intercepting sabers. Again, I've got a pretty distributed unit composition, so the sabers, I don't think the single target's so good right now, but it could be good against something I place down in the future. Maybe he's going for this missile interceptor primarily with this. Not too worried about that. It definitely, I guess, threatens the Arclight, and we'll finish the Arclight off, and that is true. At 14.5k HP, it's actually still a pretty tanky unit, not that easy to take down with sledgehammers. It's doing good work here in the middle. We just seem to take down all the chaff on this side. Marksman is working away on sledgehammers, but it looks like the chaff's running out. On both sides, actually. Arclight fights down for a bit, but then loses its life to the saber. Marksman taking down 1, 2 of the two of the Stormcallers. Owl's firing back. His is leveled. Of course, it's a bit of a dubious proposition to level Stormcallers. And 4 survive on both sides. My tower goes down first. But I get a decent volley for the first one. Let's see if we can get good accuracy. Come on, lock in. The second one takes it down as the initial volley comes in. That's great for us. Retaliating. Even with the tower down, Stormcallers die so quickly to themselves. Even with the debuff. And it's a 1v1 now. We're down. And he's down. So round 3 is a draw. I was definitely tempted to get supply enhancement. I don't know if this is that good, though. Sacrificing money when you need it. There was the improved Sandworm, though. And this was what I was looking for. An improved card to pick up something giant. I didn't really want to go Sandworm initially, but then I was like, you know what? This is the opportunity I was looking for. We have got ourselves a little bit of a base economy. We did want to go for a larger unit and maybe invest in it with the intensive training. Let's go for a Sandworm. So our opponent also goes for improved Sandworm, but initially here he's going for upgrades and not throwing one down. So we end up with the first Sandworm on the field, uncontested. Well, except by his other units, of course. Leveling these sledgehammers. Marksman, we leveled with the intensive training. We wanted to be able to get this Wraith down pretty quickly once we locked onto it. Looks like the Marksman is now doing a great job taking that unit down. Not too much investment. The one on this side not doing super well, though. And it looks like the Sandworm, even though it's got improved, is going down pretty quickly. We lose our tower. It's low and it dodges 2 volleys of missiles, so that's pretty big. But our opponent has leveled the Stormcallers on both sides as well. Which is usually a questionable option. The missiles coming in do take down the Sandworm. And we lose round number 4. PJQHH. How do you pronounce that? Pajuk. Pajuk. Maybe. Super supply on round 5. Yeah, we're going for as much economy as we can. We double level the Sandworm, picked up a level from the round, then we added our intensive training. Adding more chaff to accompany the Sandworm in. We also level the Marksman, knowing that there could be some sort of single target and or additional aerial shenanigans, and keeping your Marksman leveling is not too expensive, and they can take down individual units quite effectively. Potentially giving us, you know, a head start at developing a counter to something he might place down in the future. Yeah. 160,000 HP on this level 3 improved Sandworm. It's already our highest damage unit for the last round. And now it's triple the level. Big volleys coming in. We haven't yet set up anything to distract those initial volleys or intercept any missiles. The opponent is intercepting missiles, but we've put no investment into our Stormcallers. Leveled crawlers on the flank, taking down our crawlers, and then making an advance after that, it looks like. Very close fight somehow. Marksman has taken down the Wraith. And this Sandworm has now gotten to an uncomfortable amount of HP for our opponent to deal with. Last gasp of the Stormclaws. Not quite enough to take down the Saber, but close. They do take down our tower, which I have stubbornly refused to level. Of course, I would, you know, sometimes I level the flanking tower level 2, you know, at a time when you might consider that to be an extremely expensive option. Other times I think, you know what, so what if my opponent's nearly winning the game because, you know, 15 seconds into the round one of my flanks is going down. I could level the tower, actually, if I just can't action that at the moment that I think about it, and by the time the round is coming, I'm too excited about leveling up my Sandworms. You know what I mean? This time, though, yeah, this Sandworm has full dominion. There's not much chance. These guys... Anyone seen the movie Tremors? I think Tremors was one of the only movies when I was a kid that gave me nightmares. Tremors and E.T., because I remember that scene where E.T. like runs away through the woods going, eh! Haunting stuff. We go for the level 2 Vulcan. Our opponent picks up a level 2 Melter, which sucks. Excuse me, that sucks. He's leveling his Wraith too, so he's definitely leveling up his units, grabbing some Mustangs in the back. These Crawlers getting to level 3 now, doing a decent amount of damage. He sells the Saber in order to get the Nano Repair Kit back. Makes sense. Puts it on the Wraith. Respectable. Not sure that's going to be so effective. We've got a level 3 going on 4 Marksman who has been locking on fairly consistently. Not much additional chaff back here. He goes for an additional improved Sandworm. Yeah, cost control specialist. Didn't win him the first round, but it did win him some rounds after that. He saved some money though, so it wasn't really the full advantage you would get from this card. He does have a lot of economy off it though. But it does mean that our 3 Sandworms are going to be quite a lot stronger than his unleveled level 1 Sandworms coming in. Annoying that those don't go down in a single shot. A lot of Crawlers going in to fight this pack of leveled Crawlers who are chewing them up. It's a 2-for-1 and some. This unit doing a huge job there. That's definitely... I don't think I was paying too much attention to that. Melter taking down some of the worms. Come on, brother. You can do it. With his last gasp taking down the Melter, but it's too late. It's already taken down the big worm and both of its brothers. We don't yet have the Replicate. The Vulcan doing a great job, though. Already 43 kills, taking down all of those Stormcallers. Taking down the tower just in time to save it from taking large amounts of damage to these leveled Stormcallers. Let's see if we can even the tide out before it dies. I don't think we're going to win against a level 2 Saber and all that's here to offer. Take down a couple extra tanks. We get debuffed again. Vulcan goes down. Someone's still alive. Not for long. We lose round number 6. So the momentum's been in his favor here. The tempo is against me, it feels like. Nuke comes up. I figured this will just be a nuke trade round, probably. I definitely want to drop this on this melting point, which is tanky enough to survive. Dealing 70,000? I thought it was 80, but yeah, 70,000 damage. The Melter will survive, but then he hasn't leveled it, given it any text yet, so it shouldn't be able to recover, and hopefully that will allow us to take it down more quickly. He goes for 2 more packs of Stormcallers and Overload. That does cut down his range, which means they're going to be walking for a bit longer, but they do shoot a lot of missiles. We recognize that maybe a couple shields might be good with the possibility of a nuke if he puts it in the back. I want to keep, you know, my dudes alive if possible. He put it a bit further forward than I anticipated. I decided I really had to deal with this, put down some missiles. We have finally leveled this tower to level 2. But perhaps instead of the missiles, we could have put it to level 3, because that would still be quite nice. This flank on our opponent's side is much more invested. The 2 nukes coming down. Big hits. Melter survives. We've got lava in there. We've got sandworms in there. Through the chaos, we can't see what's going on. The smoke clears. Smoke clears. Who's victorious? The Melter's up, surrounded by worms. It goes down. That's looking promising for us. We're closing in on the tower. We've got plenty of lava. And at least 1 big sandworm left. Our opponent still has 1 too, though. Big strike coming down. Now we've got strike and mechanical division. This is where the improved sandworms become quite hard to deal with. Big strike AoE. Quick attack out of the Unburrow. Will we win the round? His sandworm's doing an insane job too. We take the tower, and he's basically stalled underground. Oh, but is it the worst possible outcome? Is it the worst possible outcome? Look at this tower timing. We put this as far as we could back so that it would not get triggered by random chaff, but in this case it doesn't actually save us, and it might have done if it had slowed this guy, given us a bit of time to let that debuff wear off. Ah! Oh, I hate to see it. We're the cost control under-leveled sandworm winning. Oh, man. It's like being, I don't know, embarrassed. Embarrassed at a party, you know? God damn. Lots of levels, though, still. Leveled rhinos, Phoenix. I like the idea of some Phoenix. We've got the wave clear with our Vulcan. We've got a big tanky upfront unit tanking hits, drawing fire. Let's have some leveled DPS in the background. And I was thinking maybe we could slow down this flank. There's very little chaff here. There's 2 units. Of course, we're going to forget to deal with this permanently because, you know, 1 Arclight... Well, I think actually we need more than 1 Arclight to deal with this at this point, but... This has definitely been worth it for him. Mustangs with anti-missile. 3 packs. Distributed amongst our forces. We want this side to be as anti-missile as possible. He's gone quite a decent amount of investment into Stormcallers here with Launcher Overload. Well, Launcher Overload does make him a little bit more resilient to anti-missile, but we put down a couple of special power interceptors as well. Level 4 sandworms now. 220k HP. No joke. Level 2 Vulcan, clearing quite well, 66 kills, and the Abyss comes down. Abyss with efficient maintenance as soon as it comes out. He's planning to keep himself in the fight. Melto has also leveled, but he's not chosen to go for any techs yet. Leveling some units, Mechanical Division of course on that Sandworm. Degeneration Beam on the Wraith. Going pretty light on tech. Big volleys, now getting distracted by an early pack of crawlers. Absorbing hits from the Abyss as well. And this Vulcan is feasting. Lots of missile interception going down now. Our missiles also getting intercepted, but we've not put nearly as much investment into that. Our static missile interceptors also doing a good job. This one may be a bit too far back. We're winning this flank though, which is good. Let's see if this marksman can take down the Abyss though. One stray shot in the wrong place and we could be in trouble. Mustangs will help out taking it down. We do lose the tower. That's scary. Abyss is still out there. Luckily the Abyss is heavily distracted by the Sandworm. And it doesn't actually have that much damage. It looks like the model of the Sandworm is not super big compared to some of the other large models that it seems the Abyss is actually quite good at taking down. Our opponent has also leveled the Sandworm, but one of our Phoenix is still alive, getting a ridiculous amount of damage taking down that big unit. And we take down the tower. There's definitely... these lava are not to be trifled with entirely, but they do all go down. And we turn the tide back after getting a little bit uncomfortably low. But now we're in kind of a similar range. We could probably both withstand another loss, but certainly it's getting towards the end of the middle of the fight. Or perhaps the beginning of the end. Advanced offensive tactics. I figured these sandworms have got to be trying to take these guys down, if possible, right? Like, if we increase the attack damage here, hopefully we'll be able to take down this Melter in 1 or 2 shots instead of, 5. It does look like with 85k, that's a 2-shot. That is. That's nice. Our opponent goes for disintegration. I've never faced this. I have never faced disintegration before. Not sure if these rhinos are being very effective. 0 kills on both. Final blitz maybe, but it just doesn't seem like they're getting in, really. And we put down 3 sets of level 2 Phoenix, elite recruited. We go for the rapid resupply and the extra range. It's time to start really knuckling it out. We have gotten our level ups too. We've gone for an attack enhancement up to the maximum level. Our opponent has also been leveling these sabers. And sabers just seem to do so much. I don't know. Look what he's facing. He got 120 damage. Okay, how is that possible? These things have like 1,000 HP each. He's not killing 120 of them. You know, he must have locked on to something big like a sandworm. Big wave of damage coming out. It looks like though maybe if the sandworms are underground they can dodge it. Is that the case? Here it comes again. Ooh, a lot of damage. The cooldown isn't actually that long anymore. But look at all these Mustangs shooting down everything. We lose the tower again, having failed to level it at all. These leveled crawlers taking down multiple packs of our chaff and then taking down the tower because we refuse to A, develop any sort of position against them, or B, put up a missile to stop them. But now his main forces crumbled, and suddenly the Phoenix lock on, and the Abyss just disappear instantly. And, whoa, way more damage than I thought. Turns out there are a lot of units here. A lot of lava, a lot of Phoenixes surviving. Orbital Javelin comes up. Our opponent skips, but I was certain he would pick it too. This looks like a pretty juicy spot to weaken up a lot of my forces. I mean, these things have a lot of HP. And this only does do 70k damage. I decided I wanted to pop it here, take down the missile interception on this side, take a huge chunk of HP, hopefully off this melting point too, which is one of our main threats against our tight pack of sandworms. Level 5 now. We decided to go for the beacon and try and dodge, just in case he put it like here or something. Maybe you can't actually javelin these guys, right? They go underground. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe if he had javelined, he would have taken down my Vulcan, and now I would have been in deep trouble, because that is all my chaff gear. I did get a reinforcement. They've got range now, so hopefully they can survive pretty well. We grab range on our Phoenixes as well. Now that they're, you know, doing really good carry work in the back, getting nice numbers, giving them a bit of range, keeping them safe in case he goes for something more than just these Mustangs. Sticky Oil Bomb, Incendiary Bomb, dual combination out of these Vulcans. Huge Orbital Javelin comes down. Of course, this guy has way too much HP to go down. Huge Destruction Waves coming out. So much HP taken off my units. But where are my worms? There they are. They were underground during the Destruction Wave. So it looks like they actually do avoid that damage. They don't avoid it when they're on the surface, though. Look at that damage. Lots of fire coming over to this random spot on the side. Probably not what our opponent desired. Melter is locked on, but our worm dives underground. Now he's fighting Mustangs, who are still shooting down missiles. The Abysses go down, and we've got a Concave of Phoenix. We've got a Concave of Phoenix. This is looking good for us. The last missile's coming out. We intercept as many as possible. The whole pack of Mustangs goes down. But that is it. We do have enough left on the field to take down our opponent and finish out the game in round 10. So yeah, a bit of improved sandworm action with some late game economy. Our opponent also with a pretty decent late game economy here with the super supply enhancement, advanced targeting, and cost control. Obviously the worm, he didn't invest as much in. In fact, looks like, oh no, the one in the back is still there. But the Abyss with the disintegration. It looked like it was doing a lot of damage. It's a shame it doesn't track the damage. I don't think that was all that it did. I don't think they're very good in facing a lot of chaff. And we had enough chaff, at least, to keep them distracted. But I would love to have seen how much damage this did. Which it was probably quite a lot. It was hitting my Vulcan quite a lot of times. Yeah. Well, that was a fun game. This pack of crawlers, 179 kills. With no techs, 2 levels. That's a 200 cost unit that has been absolutely obliterating both packs of crawlers here every round and then threatening the tower afterwards. We did eventually level up to 3, but my gosh. Opponent didn't choose to do any flanks. Of course, we didn't either because, you know, who messes with that sort of thing? Mano a mano, man to man, straight on, no nonsense. Vulcans, the Fire Gambit, I mean, they pulled it in one big spot. Did it work? Obviously it didn't. I guess not. Nice little trick, though. Maybe depending on the positioning and maybe depending on the RNG of where the missiles go, he could pull it out. But anyway, it's been Partyfoot once again with another replay. Thank you very much for joining. And until next time, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe.